And while we're starting the interpretation, just wanted to highlight a couple things. This session is for families to learn about our school, the years that your children will spend with us, but also for you to ask questions. If you have questions, you can feel free to drop them in the chat throughout. We may not answer them in the moment. We will likely wait until after a section or even after the presentation, but don't hold back your questions. No question is too small. Please do ask them, and feel free to engage with us throughout as well. We would love to see your faces and hear your voices. This is my incredible school leadership team that's all here with me tonight. I'm Miss Prefontaine Houseman in the middle. And I have obviously Miss Morris, Miss Blackshear, Mr. Paul, and Miss Radkowski here, and they will all be speaking to you about different aspects of our school and our program throughout the evening. So feel free to private message any of the 5 of us if you have any questions, and we would be happy to share our contact information and get back with you as well. And I could talk forever, honestly, talk for hours about our amazing school and our amazing kids, but who better to hear it from than one of our current parents? Miss Shantae Martin is the mother of current 8th grader Samantha Rodney, and Samantha has just gotten into some incredible high schools and will be attending an amazing boarding school in the fall. She's actually been with public prep for her entire elementary and middle school career, went to our elementary school and then joined us for middle school. So let's hear from Miss Martin about her experience at Girls Prep.
We found Girls Prep by me kind of like wandering the streets of the Bronx and like stopping families and asking any random child like what they thought about their school. And all the little girls who were in their Girls Prep jumpers were all excited about Girls Prep. And so we were really excited when Sammy got accepted. She blossomed in Girls Prep. She was not just a random kid. She was Samantha when she walked in the door. All of the staff knew who she was, even if she wasn't in their class, and they knew who I was, which was helpful. Any requests we've made of Girls Prep has been fulfilled. Any random thing we needed has been fulfilled. Her ability to experience new things has been amazing, especially for a school in the Bronx. Like, we all know that it's rare for schools in the Bronx to provide such a quality education to little Black and brown children. So it's been really wonderful being here. Even with her transitioning to the middle school, she's been able to get a little bit more independence and become a little bit more mature and handle herself much better because there are high expectations for our girls, which again, you don't see at every school. So Ms. Playtez and the entire staff of Girls Prep have always been on her side and on the side of all of the girls who go there. And again, you don't see that. I work at a school in the Bronx, and you just don't see this kind of support, care, and love in another school. That, you know, there's always going to be things that you don't like, but there's also voices and ears that will listen to you if you have concerns.
And Samantha's mom, Miss Martin, has been such an amazing partner to our school, to our network for the past 9 years that Sammy's been a part of our team. And we're lucky to have parents like her, family members like her partner with us as well. So glad you got to hear her voice. I'm going to ask my school leadership team to read out our mission together. This is our network-wide mission, not just our school. And no, families, that we're going to ask you to participate a little bit throughout the presentation, potentially do a little bit of reading as well if you'd like to. So just know that if you'd like to come off mute, that's coming. I can get us started and then you guys can pick up. At Girls Prep, scholars are challenged to think and work hard every day. We start early, end of college completion in mind.
We create a warm and joyful culture of rigor in which scholars build strong character by adopting the core values of sisterhood, brotherhood, merit, responsibility, and scholarship.
Our scholars master the ability to read, write, listen, speak, create, and think deeply across disciplines with a particular focus on science, the arts, and math. They work independently and in teams to solve problems collaboratively.
At Girls Prep, alumni will be a resilient young man or woman of bold intellect. He or she will be an empathetic leader, knowledgeable and curious about the world. He or she will be goal-oriented decision maker, empowered to make choices that will lead to life success.
Girls Prep is part of Public Prep, the nation's only nonprofit network that exclusively develops exceptional tuition-free pre-K and single-sex elementary and middle public schools. We are determined to graduate 8th grade scholars who thrive in right-fit, high-performing public, private, or parochial high schools and ultimately earn a degree on time from a 4-year college or university.
Wanted to put our mission out in the forefront for families, whether you know about our mission or whether it's new to you, because it's so important to our work. We often ground our work as educators in that mission and make sure that families are aware of it and grounded in it as well. A couple other quick things to introduce you to include our core values, which are the same as our elementary school and our other sister and brother schools in the network. Sisterhood, I support my sisters and they support me. Merit, my effort leads to my achievement. Responsibility, I'm responsible for myself and for the impact of my actions. And scholarship, I determine my future through hard work and education. And these core values are central in our classrooms and in the work that we do with students. We also have our North Star to college completion there. I'll read those out because they're a little bit small, but on the next slide, I might start to ask for a little bit of participation. Our North Star to college completion includes character development, which we do both in advisory and throughout our classes during the day. Academic achievement, which is obviously central to school. Family and scholar satisfaction, which is part of what we're doing today, is starting to build our relationship partnership. Organizational stability and staff engagement, and college knowledge. So making sure that our students know the pathways that will be open to them in the future if they work hard and show all of our core values. These are some of our core beliefs. As each bullet point comes up, could we just have a parent or family member come off and read, and any staff members can also pick up if you'd like to. Ms. Brima, would you get us started with the first one since I already know one of your children?
Sure. We are committed to creating a safe, predictable, responsive environment.
Thank you. Anybody else can pick up after her.
We believe families and schools must work together.
We believe every single one of our scholars is capable of upholding our core values of sisterhood, merit, scholarship, and responsibility.
We know that humans are imperfect and will sometimes make mistakes. It is how we move forward from and learn from those mistakes that defines our character. We use a restorative justice approach to support our scholars in building strong character.
We see it as the shared responsibility of families and the school to help scholars develop the character skills necessary to get to and through college.
Thank you for bringing us home there. Just a quick note on our vision for next school year, because we obviously have had quite a different past 15 or so months since the COVID-19 pandemic started. Our vision for the 2021-2022 school year is that all of our students will be on site in our building at 890 Caldwell Avenue 5 days per week. There will be medical exemptions for a 100% remote alternative program. The first day of school is Monday, August 30th. But again, we won't be holding a significant portion of remote school for most scholars. Our scholars and our staff will all be in the building next year unless there is a medical exemption granted. Safety protocols will continue. So we do anticipate continuing with masks, social distancing to some degree, and extensive cleaning procedures. We do on-site COVID testing weekly. All of our students and staff in the building currently get tested every single Friday. And then vaccination for all staff members, all teachers and staff entering our building next year will be required. Technology-enabled learning, we've learned quite a bit about how to use technology to support a strong learning environment this year, and so we will maintain that and expand upon it. So a tablet or Chromebook will be required for every scholar, but we do provide quite a bit of technology. For us, it would be not tablets, it would be Chromebooks, I believe. Google Classroom is the home base for student work. So even if you're working in the classroom, you know all your assignments are housed on your computer in your Google Classroom. And then we have a lot of platforms. Some of the examples here are Dreambox, Lalio, but in middle school we use IXL, we use Newsella, a bunch of different platforms to support student learning while also having the benefit of being able to interact with teachers and staff members in our building.
Just a little bit about our hours and our after-school program. Girls Prep Bronx Middle School runs from grades 6 through 8. We are located at 890 Caldwell Avenue. The 2 and 5 trains that stop at Prospect Avenue are the closest stop to us. The BX6, BX15, and BX21 also have stops close by as well. Our school hours are 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. We open doors at 8:15 a.m. for scholars. And on Wednesdays, we dismiss students at 2:15 p.m. And then also every day after school, including Wednesdays, there is a free after school program open to just our Girls Prep Bronx Middle School scholars in grades 6 through 8, every day that runs until 6 p.m. We do not have busing service unless students have, that's a part of the student's IEP, but all of our students are eligible to receive Metro cards.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that last part about the Metro cards?
All students are able to receive Metro cards if they qualify for one. So when if you request a Metro card, if your student qualifies for one, they get one automatically. And it just is based off of the distance door to door from your home to our school doors.
For this next section, we're going to talk about what you can expect from us and our team, and also what we would expect from you as families partnering with us. So we're going to, for what you can expect from us, our school leadership team will read these out. And then for the next slide, for what we expect from you and our partnership with families, I will ask again families to read. You can read a second time if you would like, or if you would like to read for the first time, that is fine as well. I'll get us started and then my leadership team will pick up. We expect a deep commitment to helping your daughter develop character skills. This is again what you expect from us, a deep commitment to helping your daughter develop character skills.
A constant effort to model the core values ourselves.
Accountability for students when they make poor choices.
Celebration of students who consistently do the right thing and of students who make significant improvement.
Weekly communication about your daughter's character development.
A reply to your email or phone call within 36 hours.
Opportunities to have your voice heard and your concerns considered, appreciated. And this is what we need from you. So if I could get 4 families to come off mute and read out these bullet points as well.
Ensure your daughter is at school on time, in uniform every day, and ready to learn.
Ensure your daughter reads for at least 30 minutes each night.
Accept and honor Girls Prep behavioral expectations, rewards, and consequences.
Attend family teacher conferences.
Thank you. And these are some of our hopes, and I'll take you through these. The baseline was on the previous slide, the things that we absolutely need from you. And this is our hope, is that you're able to partner with us and engage with us in these ways as well. So read all of our school to family communication. We have a newsletter that comes out weekly. We communicate through text message, through a text messaging service. Just make sure you're reading everything so that you know what is going on at school and with your child. Frequent attendance at many of our events, including concerts, unity meetings, chat and choose, and family nights, whether it's academic or social. At least bi-weekly checks of your daughter's grades on our online gradebook. So we use the Power School Parent Portal, and you should be checking their grades. They should be checking their grades, making sure you know how they're doing. They know how they're doing. In middle school, we really try to build independence around this. So we want that commitment to make sure that you and your child are both on top of that. Frequent conversation with your daughter about how she's doing. So rather than just checking the grades, making sure you're talking about how class went that day, what she's working on, what she's learning about, what she's interested in, and then checking your child's homework nightly as well, and just making sure that the quality of work is up to par for you and up to par for our school so that your child is growing quickly and progressing.
As we mentioned before, we do have a free after-school program. We call it Kaleidoscope, but it is a DYCD, a city-funded after-school program. The mission is to encourage our scholars to expand their minds through hands-on experiences, which enhance learning through leadership, STEM, literacy, and the arts. Also, through exposure of relevant social topics, our leaders of tomorrow will be champions of social justice and equal opportunity. We have offered it this year, both virtually and in person. But as Ms. Prefontaine mentioned, we'll be focusing on bringing all of our students back into the building next year. They will continue to have some opportunities to participate in things virtually, like virtual field trips and instances where we're unable to take students out. But we've been utilizing our field and our space in the building even this year to make sure that students have the opportunity to try new experiences within the school beyond the scope of our regular specials program.
All right, at this time, we're going to talk about some of the school culture stuff. And one of the first things that we're going to talk about, which makes us very unique as a school, is our uniform policy. So we are a school that requires the students to wear uniforms so that they're able to focus on academics and not worry about what they're going to wear every day and not worry about who has the latest sneakers or who has the newest clothes. We make sure that we pride ourselves in equity and make sure that all of the students understand that they are equal and again, to primarily focus on academics and other things to make them successful in life. So with our uniform, we get our uniform from Flynn O'Hara, and you are able to purchase the uniform at 136 Westchester Square, Bronx, New York, or online at flynnohara.com. Again, that's flynnohara.com. If I can get one of my teammates to please drop that link inside of the chat so parents can have it. And the uniform goes as follows. Students are allowed to wear white Oxford shirts, polo or purple polo shirts, navy cardigan or fleece, navy skirt, kilt, or slacks, as well as all black or all navy blue shoes. Again, the uniform is very simple. The colors represent our school colors, and as stated before, the main thing about the uniform is to make sure that all students are on an even playing field. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're going to get started in about a few seconds. So moving on from the uniform, something else that makes us very unique as a school is our communication system. We do believe in relationships, and with that, we have many different ways that we communicate to you as families and make sure that you're able to reach us as staff as well. So with the communication system, sorry, next slide, please. Well, I'll go back to this one. With the communication system, as stated before, we have everything from home visits, weekly newsletters, monthly calendars, family teacher conferences, progress report and report cards, calls and emails, Kinvo text messages, community council, and Kickboard portal. So again, this is a partnership. So we want to make sure that we are in constant communication with each other, whether it's for looking at grades or addressing things as attendance, because attendance is very important in our school. And we expect the child to be in school every single day, unless if it's sick or if going through something else in life. So for cell phone policy, similar to the elementary school, cell phones are not allowed in middle school. So what we do ask is when the child comes to school, we want her to actually put the cell phone in her locker. She is not allowed to take it out. If we do see the cell phone, we actually confiscate it for the day and give it back to your child by the end of the day. If it's something that continues to happen, we will hold on to the phone and ask the parent to come to the school to actually retrieve the phone. So we make sure that we want our students to be as focused as possible when in school. And we all know that if a child has a cell phone, they're going to be on social media, they're going to be texting each other during times that they're not supposed to. So with that, we just try to nip it in the bud at the door and make sure that it's not an issue nor a barrier for academic learning.
Awesome. Thank you, Mr. Paul. So we're going to jump in to talk about some academics, which I'm sure all of you are very interested in learning about. So as you know, we are a single-sex school. We have grades 6 through 8. We do believe that girls all learn differently. So all of the teachers do their very best to differentiate and make sure that we can reach every girl in our classroom in the way that they learn best. As Ms. Prefontaine said this year, there's been a lot of negatives, but a bunch of positives as far as learning different platforms that the girls can learn from. In math, we started implementing Go Formative, and science was able to too. So it's obviously an online platform where kids are able to like show their work, submit to teachers, all electronically. So we've learned a lot of great things. We also have Math 180. The girls do IXL in math. There's Khan Academy. We do have guided reading groups, which is really cool. The kids are all in groups. They get to pick an amazing novel and read it with some of their classmates and their teacher. So we do a ton of fun things around that. We also have Common Core aligned curriculum for English and math. So obviously the state exams for 6th and 7th and 8th grade for both ELA and math just passed. So we are happy to get through that with our girls and knock on wood, hopefully very successfully. We also have an aligned curriculum in science. A really awesome thing that our school does offer is living environment and Algebra 1 for all of our girls in 8th grade. So they will have the opportunity to take a Regents level course. And if you are familiar, in New York, you do have to pass a certain amount of Regents classes to graduate high school. So they do have the opportunity in middle school to at least gain one of those credits before entering into high school. So if they are able to pass both the course and the Algebra 1 exam, they're most likely to be placed in geometry when they move to high school rather than retake Algebra 1. So it's a great opportunity and definitely allows our girls to really build study skills that they'll need going forward. We also offer the fun stuff too, so pedals. So we have an art class, we have PE, and we have a dance class. We're open to providing different specials as time moves forward, but the girls really are interested in the ones that we do offer right now, but definitely open to any ideas you all have around specials. We do believe in rigor, obviously. We really want to push our girls to be able to compete with anybody, any place, anytime. And our teachers and our academic team are really dedicated to making sure that we hold the bar extremely high for our girls, starting in 6th grade. So by the time they get to 8th grade, they are all good to go. But we also believe that school should be fun. School should be a place where girls want to get up and go to every day. So we very much do our best to celebrate girls, celebrate their achievements in and out of the classroom, find what they're good at, highlight that, and use it to motivate them to do well in everything else. So definitely you are our biggest resource is figuring out what your girls love, what motivates them. Anything we can get from you to help our girls feel successful and feel competent in school is really, really important to everybody on our team. Also, academic at Girls Prep. One of our core values is scholarship. So I determine my future through hard work and education. Our goal is to give all of our girls the tools to attend a high performing or best fit high school. And then obviously our long game is to gain access to four-year colleges and universities. This again is just a rundown of what we offer. We do offer 4 content classes, so math, ELA, history, science. They do have 2 blocks of math a day and 2 blocks of ELA a day, and then 1 science and 1 history, as well as 1 pedals. Students that do have mandated supports have continued to receive these supports remotely and will also continue to have them next year as well. And I also have an amazing colleague, Miss Blackshare, who will actually go deeper into all the supports that we do offer our children.
All right, hello parents. As Ms. Bukowski said, my name is Ms. Blackshare. And so we have ICT classes, which are integrated co-teaching. That's set in virtual and in person as 2 teachers in 1 class with the students. We implement the virtual co-teaching models that best benefit your daughter's academic success. This trimester, we have been implementing more of a parallel teaching. It looks maybe like 1 teacher to 12 kids or 1 teacher to 8 kids, depending on the size of the overall class. We just found it more for the girls to be split in 2 classes to get more of that one-on-one, especially with some being hybrid, some being virtual. Our girls also receive small groups, which we started September 14th. That was something that all students with sets, which I'll talk about in a second, receive regardless as a mandate. But we decided with the virtual learning through pandemic that all of our at-risk students and L population are English language learners, and our students with mandate would benefit from this service. So on Wednesdays, when our other students are doing asynchronous work, those girls are logging in and getting support from a teacher to help close those skills gaps. As I stated before, we also provide sets. That's when our intervention teacher push into their general ed class. We do believe that the child should stay in the class the majority of the period. We try to pull them out as minimal as possible. If the student does need to be pulled out of class because the skill gap is just that, is that large or whatever, we will pull that child out. But if not, it is our goal to push in to provide all supports and services. We do provide English language learner supports as well. We currently have a contract person with us, and he comes to campus 4 days a week, and he works with our girls for standalone services as well. So he push into class, but also pull them out. Related services such as speech, occupational therapy, physical therapy, hearing impairment, our vision services, and paraprofessionals. We do contract out to different agencies. We do get to interview these people to make sure they are a right fit for our girls to provide the ongoing support that we need for them to be socially and academically successful. And so we have a really close working relationship with the agency and with the people who work with us. And it is a goal of ours for them to also have a very close working relationship with you. So collaboration is extremely important across the board for our related services. As far as counseling goes, we are very grateful to have Ms. Alexander. She is our in-house counselor. She is hired through Public Prep Network. So she is a part of the network. So she's here 5 days a week. She provides mandated counseling for students with IEPs, and we also have at-risk counseling for students. Any questions as far as that concern, please drop them in the chat and I will get with you. So this is me again, right? So to prepare for the next school year, if your daughter does have an IEP, please, please, please reach out to me. And I would like for you to provide me with a hard copy. So you can ask now on whatever school they're attending for a hard copy, and you can just scan it to my email. I will drop it in the chat. You will look forward to receiving a phone call from me sometime in July, just for us to have a one-on-one conversation, you to share your concerns and your goals for your daughter for next year. You will receive regular communication. We do have 4 parent learning communities a year. Purple Folder Night is the initial meeting that we have. Purple Folder Night is just for me to ensure you do know that your daughter has services, what those services are, what those services should look like. You are your child's #1 advocate, and I am here to support you any way possible with that. And so Purple Folder Night, again, we just get to know each other. And I just make sure you understand what the services are on your child's documentation, and also for you to understand the services that we provide and how we can work together as a team. We also have IEP meetings, annuals, triannuals, revals. This is in collaboration with the CSE, but I will be there with you. Our teachers will be there. We will help you advocate with the CSE. We will never leave you alone. And we do also have case managers at the grade GPBXM. A case manager is a special education teacher who is like your own little personal advocate for your daughter on campus. This person keeps in contact with all your daughter teachers and will also keep you updated weekly on how your child is doing, any areas of improvement, any areas of lack, or any concerns, or maybe like some behaviors that we're seeing that we didn't see before. Like this person will probably most likely be the first person to notice that because they will build that relationship with your daughter. As far as initial referrals go, you can just contact me. Again, I'm going to drop my email address in the chat. You can contact me if you have any concerns. If your daughter has been evaluated before and didn't qualify and you still have concerns, if you feel like your child, if you do want them to be evaluated, excuse me, and they've never been, please feel free to reach out.
Thanks so much, Ms. Blackshear. So we have a couple next steps for you. It's kind of your first homework assignment as a Girls Prep family. You will receive a home language survey phone call sometime before June 1st. Please make sure that you answer and follow up and actually answer the questions on that survey so that we can support our students who might be learning English as a second language and support your family as well. You can start to purchase uniform pieces. Kids in middle school grow real fast. I know they do in elementary school too. So don't get something super small right now that they might not fit into in the fall. Maybe size up a size and get enough materials that you need. And you can always reach out to Mr. Paul or anyone on this team if you have questions about the uniforms. Our website has summer programs, our public prep website, and we can actually drop that link. Teammates, if you could drop that link from the summer programs website into the chat. There's many different resources provided by the city, provided by different public and private programs, and we're trying to compile them all in one place. And then we can also support you in making decisions about the best fit summer programs for your child as they get ready to come join us at Girls Prep. And then you can also come spend more time with us. Next week on May 18th at 5 p.m., our network is holding a town hall with our network leadership to talk about how all of our schools in the Lower East Side of Manhattan and in the Bronx will be reopening next year and what that will look like. And we also have Chat and Choose, which generally is where you can come eat lunch or a snack and get to talk to myself and my team. So you're welcome to come to those on June 10th at either 12 p.m. or 5 p.m. We'll be holding the similar Chat and Chew. It's actually going to be run by our specials teachers that day, and they'll be sharing a lot of opportunities around summer programs and summer fun and summer ideas to keep our students active and engaged before we head back to school next year. But it's also a great place to just come and continue to meet staff and ask questions. And finally, stay connected with us. We have an Instagram for Public Prep, which is at Public Prep NYC. So connect to Instagram right now. You might want to take a picture of this slide so you can follow up on all these next steps on your own later. And we would love it if you would connect with us on Facebook as well. We have many of our families in our Community Council Facebook group that is kind of jointly run by myself and Ms. Morris, as well as some of our families. And that is Girls Prep Bronx Middle School, Girls Prep Bronx Middle Community Council group. I don't think it says school, but it might. But search that. I'll try to drop the link for that in the chat in a moment as well. But lots of little next steps for you to get prepared. And at this point, it's time for us to turn it over to you and see what questions that you have about our presentation, about our school, any hopes and concerns that you might want to bring to us now before we head off for the night. And I'm going to drop my contact information in the chat as well. Does anybody have any questions? I'm going to voice over the transportation thing because I saw that question again. We do not have transportation provided by the school or the network to the school. There's a lot of public transportation options that Ms. Morris mentioned, including the 2 and the 5 train, a number of city buses. Many of our students do commute on their own to school, but we also have families that either walk their child to school or drop them off via a personal vehicle. And if you qualify based on distance as well, you can receive a Metro card, or your child can receive a Metro card to commute on their own, but we don't have school buses other than for students who may have it on their IEP. And Vicki, Yvonne is translating right now, but she will answer your question in the chat, or one of us will answer your question in the chat in just a moment. Any other questions? Anything you'd like to bring to our team? Our COVID testing is done through a company called Miramis, and it's a saliva test. So you spit a little bit of saliva into a small tube. It's not the nasal swab that we are using as far as a testing protocol this year. It's pretty non-invasive. It goes quickly at this point. And it allows us every week to know that our whole community is safe. It's really great to get the report back every week and know that everyone in the building is COVID free. No problem. If you have any other questions, feel free to drop them in the chat, or you can come off mute and just ask your question out loud and we can have a conversation. In the next minute or so, we will close out for the evening. Our classrooms are very similar to a lot of classrooms and schools that I've worked in. So for the most part, our classes have between 22 and 27 students. And most of our classes are co-taught with at least 2 teachers in the classroom at all times as well. And as Ms. Blackshear said, many of our classes are currently parallel taught, where your students actually in a group of anywhere, honestly, from 5 to about 12 or 13 students. So they do have a lot of face time with a teacher and are not lost in a huge group. And there's a lot of adults that get to know them very well, since they have a team of teachers that teach all the different subjects. So they will receive whole group instruction sometimes and small group instruction. Mostly their teachers will push into their classrooms. Sometimes they may pick them up depending on what our school and our needs look like next year. Procedures for pickup: if you're picking up your child or you're dropping off your child, you would just kind of pull up to the door where they all come in. They would leave the school and you would pick them up outside. Honestly, most of our families have students commuting on their own, especially 7th and 8th graders. More of our 6th graders do get picked up or dropped off, but we do have quite a few kids that have like self-dismiss privileges, where they can, at the end of the school day, they just leave and head home on their own, and that's why they can get their cell phone out at the end of the day from their locker and communicate with their family in order to get home safely. This year, we have COVID testing every day. I'm getting some private messages, everybody, that's what I'm reading. Not every day, every week. We test every week on Fridays this year. I'm anticipating that being similar next year, to do once a week testing, but we're not 100% sure about that yet, but it is likely to be the same. And then we do have after school on Wednesdays. We have after school program every day of the week. It's just a little bit shorter on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, because our school day ends at around 4:15. And then students have after school from about 4:30 to 6:30. And then on Wednesdays, because our students get out of regular school earlier, the after school program is actually much longer. It's from about 2:30 to 6:30 on Wednesdays, and has additional clubs and additional opportunities for them to try out new things. We have cooking, different art clubs. We did a paint and sip with like apple juice and orange juice recently, and we made beautiful paintings. A DIY club, a movie watching club, lots of different things that they can try out in our after school program. No problem. Just gonna check and see if I missed anything in the chat. Great questions. Thank you so much for asking the questions. All right, last call for questions. I'll drop my communication in the chat again, and leaders, if you are able to drop yours one more time, just so it's all in one place for people as well. Could we put that last slide up one more time, just with the homework, so people can take a picture of it if they didn't? And then we will say good evening. It's really nice to see all of you. Feel free to stay on at the end if you want to touch base with anybody a little bit more privately. We're here to answer your questions. So thank you all. Have a great evening.